Good morning class. Today we will discuss about midpoint theorem. So let us see what is the midpoint theorem. See the statement of midpoint theorem. If there is a triangle ABC, suppose there is a triangle ABC, and if we join the midpoints of any two sides, suppose D is the midpoint of AB and E is the midpoint of AC, then the line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides of a triangle is parallel to third side. So we have taken the midpoint of AB and AC. So this line segment DE, it will be parallel to third side BC and equal to half of the third side, means half of BC. So DE will be parallel to BC and DE is equal to 1 by 2 BC. This is the statement of midpoint theorem. If we take the midpoint of AB and BC, suppose this one, then line segment this DE, it will be parallel to third side AC and equal to half of AC. Suppose if we take the midpoint of AC and BC, then DE will be parallel to third side AB and D will be equal to half of AB. This is the meaning of midpoint theorem. So write the statement of midpoint theorem. Midpoint theorem. So what is the statement? In a triangle, a line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides is parallel to third side and equals to half of it. So see the statement. What is the statement of midpoint theorem? In a triangle, a line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides is parallel to third side and equals to half of it. How we will prove it? So see the proof. Let us take a triangle ABC. Let us take a triangle ABC in which D is the midpoint of AB and E is the midpoint of AC. So write the given things. What are given? In triangle ABC, D and E are midpoints of sides AB and AC respectively. D and E are midpoints of the sides AB and AC respectively. What we have to prove? We have to prove that a line segment joining D and E, so DE is parallel to third side BC and DE is equal to half of BC. This is the statement. We have taken ABC is a triangle in which D and D are the midpoints. It is given. What we have to prove? We have to prove D is parallel to the third side BC and equals to half of BC. Next step, construction. We have to do some construction in this. So what is the construction? Through the point C, we will draw a line parallel to BA. We have to draw a line parallel to BA, which means DE produced at F. Through C, drew a line parallel to BA, which means DE produced at F. So right, drew a line through C parallel to BA, which means DE produced at F. So through this point C, we have drawn a line parallel to BA. It means DE produced at F. So given things, what we have to prove? What is the construction? Next step. Now we will start proof of this theorem. See the proof. So to prove, firstly we will prove these two triangles congruent. Prove these two triangles congruent. How are they congruent? Angle A, it will be equal to this angle C. Region alternate angles. AE and EC both are equal because E is the midpoint of AC. E is the midpoint of AC, so AE and EC both are equal. And angle AED and CEF, these two angles are equal, vertically opposite angle. So angle side angle, both triangles are congruent. So prove these two triangles congruent. Like in triangle AEB and triangle AED and triangle CEF. So angle AED is equal to angle CEF region vertically opposite angle. Next step, AE is equal to EC region. E is the midpoint of AC. E is the midpoint of AC, so AE and EC are equal. And angle EAD is equal to angle ECF. Angle ECF, region alternate angles. These two are alternate angles. These two lines are parallel, so alternate angles are equal. So therefore, triangle AED congruent triangle CEF by angle side angle congruency. By angle side angle congruency. So two triangles are congruent. So remaining part of these two triangles will be equal. Means corresponding parts will be equal. So what are the corresponding sides? These two angles are vertically opposite angles. Its opposite side AD and this angle opposite side CF. So AD and CF both will be equal. This is like AD is equal to CF. We can write here CP, CT. Corresponding part of congruent triangles are equal. So AD and CF both are, and AD is equal to BD. AD is equal to BD. So we can say that since AD and BD are equal, so we can say that BD and CF are equal. Since BD equal to CF and BD is parallel to CF, BD and CF both are equal. We have proved here. And BD and CF both are parallel by construction. So in a quadrilateral, if one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal both, see this quadrilateral DBCF, one pair of opposite sides BD and CF, it is parallel and equal both. So we can say that DBCF is a parallelogram. It is the property of parallelogram. If one pair of opposite sides are parallel and equal both, we can say that it is a parallelogram. So therefore, we can say here BCFD is a parallelogram. BCFD, it is a parallelogram. And we also know that in a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel and equal. So opposite sides means DF, it is parallel to BC, and DF will be equal to BC. So therefore DF, it will be parallel to BC, and DF, it will be equal to BC. We know that in a parallelogram opposite sides are parallel and equal. So opposite sides DF and BC both will be equal and parallel. DF is parallel to BC, so we can say that DE is also parallel to BC because DE is the part of this line segment DF. So DE will be also parallel to BC. DE is parallel to BC and DF so since these two triangles are congruent, so by simplicity, corresponding parts will be equal. So these two angles are equal. Their opposite sides AD and CF, they are equal. These two angles are also equal, alternate angle. So its opposite sides DE and angle C opposite sides EF. DE and EF both will be equal. So DF we can write DE plus EF. DF means DE plus EF. It is equal to BC. DE and EF both are equal. So in place of EF we can put DE. This is equal to BC. Twice DE, it is equal to BC. So D will be half of BC. So we see that here D is parallel to BC and D is equal to half of BC. Why D and EF are equal? We can give reason here. Since triangle AED congruent triangle CEF, we have proved it. Therefore, DE is equal to EF by CPC, corresponding part of congruent. So these two triangles congruent. So DE and EF are corresponding sides. They will be equal. So in place of EF, we can put DE twice DE equal to BC. DE will be half of BC. So line segment joining the midpoints of any two sides AB and AC, that is D, it is parallel to third side BC and equal to half of BC. So this theorem is proved. It was midpoint theorem. Now we will see some problem based on midpoint theorem. Now see question number 3. Figure is given. In a triangle ABC, P is the midpoint of AB, Q is the midpoint of AC, M is the midpoint of AP, N is the midpoint of AQ, and MN is given 1.6. This MN, it is given 1.6. We have to find what is the length of BC. How we will do? We will do this problem using midpoint theorem. So, write in triangle APQ. In triangle APQ, M is the midpoint of AP, N is the midpoint of AQ. M is the midpoint of AP and N is the midpoint of AQ. So what we can write by midpoint theorem? M is the midpoint of AP, N is the midpoint of AQ. So MN will be half of the third side PQ. So we can write MN is equal to 1 by 2 PQ. MN is given 1.6. Right here 1.6. It is equal to 1 by 2 PQ. Cross multiply, PQ will be 3.2 centimeter. Now PQ is known. The next step, we will use the whole triangle ABC. In triangle ABC, P is the midpoint of AB and Q is the midpoint of AC. Right? In triangle ABC, P is the midpoint of AB. P is the midpoint of AB. Q is the midpoint of AC. P is the midpoint of AB. This P is the midpoint of AB. And Q is the midpoint of AC. So by midpoint theorem, we can say that PQ will be half of BC. So therefore, PQ is equal to 1 by 2 BC by midpoint theorem. Value of PQ is 3.2. So 3.2 is equal to 1 by 2 BC. What will be BC? Cross multiply 6.4 centimeter. So value of PQ is, value of BC is 6.4 centimeter. So in this way we can apply the midpoint theorem in the problems. So I have taken one questions. Try to do some questions yourself. Next problem we will discuss in the next video. Okay, thank you class.